Tennessee.
This guy, Raider Ragu, is out here wild and talking about the 2025 Las Vegas Raiders are going to win 10 games.
We still don't believe in the quarterback, and we're going to be better on defense. So Jonathan Taylor is not going to be running through us like he has been in the past. So I think we can go 3-1 right there. I'm just being honest, right? So now, all of a sudden, the Raiders are 6-4. All right, we got the East. All right, we'll count traveling back east to play Philly. That's a loss, right? That's 6-5. We can beat the New York Giants. The New York Giants don't scare me. They are getting better. Don't get me wrong. But they just won 3 games last year. They picked high for a reason. They were able to, pick the players that they got in the draft because they were not good. And we had a little bit better record than them last year, and we got better as well. I'm saying we can beat them. Cowboys. This one is the one where it's going to be, this could make or break this prediction, basically. All right, because I'm saying perhaps no in Washington. I'm saying perhaps almost definitely no in Philly. So if we can manage to beat New York and Dallas, though, right? We 2-2 right there. Now, all of a sudden, the Raiders have won 8 games, right? I believe I said we were 8-5, so 8-7 by now with 2 games to play. Those games we play the Bears and Cleveland. We can beat both of those teams. I'm just saying, both of those teams are beatable by the Raiders in terms of what we've had, what they had, what they have now. So now all of a sudden, man, the Raiders are sitting there at 10-7. Now, the other teams have had some struggles, right? Denver season didn't go quite as smooth as they thought because of whatever reason. KC, although they'll probably be vying for first place or, top spot in the playoffs, their season didn't go the way they planned for whatever reason, but still, winning the division like they have the last 9 years or being close to winning. It's time, right? It's time for somebody to dethrone them. And it's no better team to do it than the silver and black. So then there's the Chargers. Chargers have improved. Won't don't get that twisted. They probably plan on going to the playoffs. No, probably to it. So it's going to be, that type of deal. Everybody going to be better, but so are the Raiders. And everybody being better, everybody can manage to beat each other and then slip up in some other spots, some other big games, right? Like we'll be rooting for the Ravens to pop KC in week 1, right? We can get some luck on that with the other teams beating up on these teams and winning some games, man, we can end up going worst to first. But even if we don't go worst to first, 10-7, get into a wild card spot, travel somewhere, man, and win a game, right? Maybe host a wild card game. Raiders will be back. That's cool enough. Let's be honest. We ain't got to win the Super Bowl. All right, so moving on, man. They came out with some rankings of the supporting cast of the different, across the National Football League. Supporting cast means, the players that the QB has to work with in terms of offense. I know it's a lot more factors that go into winning games and scoring the football in the National Football League, but, for S's and giggles, they came with the little ranking. They ranked the Raiders at 21st in the league, weapons-wise. We looking at Genty, Mostert, Bowers, Michael Mayer, Jacoby Myers, Jack Bech, Dante Thornton, Trey Tucker, and others. Now, right there, the receiving core, I can see that that's not anything to write home about yet, right? Those rookies haven't proven anything, but those rookies might pan out and turn out to be something better than cats that's in the league already. So we never know. So it's that wild card right there. But we got, I feel like, top flight backs, top flight tight ends. So it's going to be tough to have a top flight receiving core right off the bat too, right? That's like having everything because we got one of the top QBs too. They rated Geno top 10 in the league, right? This was PFF. A lot of you guys go off of that, right? With all of the nerd stuff and the numbers and whatnot. They rated Geno as 10th in the league. So we got a much better QB, top flight units in the running back and tight end rooms. And then we're trying to build that receiver room. We don't know what we have yet with the rooks. And they rate us at 21st. I can accept that because we don't know what's up with the rooks. But if the rooks are something special, the Raiders could be ranked a lot higher, man. They could go up like, let's just say they move up 7 spots to 14. Well, 14 teams go to the playoffs. Now they top 14 units. You know what I'm saying? That's all going to depend on them rookies, man. The rookies got to show up, do their thing, like what they were drafted for. And Jacoby and Bowers will do the heavy lifting, and then sprinkled in with Dante and Jack and Trey Tucker already as well. It could be much better than people are thinking. So they rated us out at 21st. I'm not mad currently at that because it's not really disrespectful because we don't know what's up to receivers. But that could go much higher if the receivers produce, right? So 21st in the league, Raiders supporting cast. What you guys think about that?
Yo, Ragu, which 5 teams are not going back to the offs?
Two immediately, right? In my opinion, the Steelers may not go back to the offs. No disrespect to, that's my main man. He gonna be hot at me. And then one of the two out of the Broncos and the Chargers, man, ain't going. And I'm not just a hater. I'm just saying both of y'all not going back. You understand me? So that's two right there. And I got to thinking some more. Like, all right, I'm being a little harsh. And as I went through the divisions, it's going to be tough to keep Bills, Ravens, Chiefs out of the playoff, right? So over there in the South, somebody has to win that division and go to the offs, right? So that's most likely to be the Texans, let's just say. Denver or the Chargers or the Steelers, right, do not make it. Miami is got action in not making it. Tyreek may or may not be there. Jalen Ramsey is not going to be there. Man, I see a couple spots open right there, man, where the Raiders could surprise and get in there. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we about to make a run to the Super Bowl. I'm saying we could perhaps get that wild card, that 7th rank, that 6th rank in the offs in this first year, man. Because over on our side, we got Denver and or the Chargers not making it. Steelers perhaps not making it. That's like the 2.5 right there. That's who I see. And we can control our own destiny by beating those ball clubs when we play against them in the division. So and then on the other side, we really don't even care who doesn't make it over there to make up the other, the 5 teams, because we'll play if we got through the AFC, and it don't even matter who we played over there. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even have to go through that. But that's my take on it.
Raider Rag has time for Mark Davis today.
Moving on, the Raiders owner, Mark Davis, as we all know, allowed Tom Brady and Richard Seymour to buy in to the Raiders ownership. So now they are part owners of the Raiders. And then 2 weeks ago, we learned that Charles Woodson became, a small shareholder, stakeholder in the Cleveland Browns. And I thought to myself, man, you mean to tell me Woodson was out here looking to become an owner as well, and Mark Davis went with the 2 Patriot guys, even though Rich did play for the Raiders a couple years there at the end of his career. But I'm not going to say people don't remember that, but he's more remembered as a Patriot, one of the Patriots that was on a couple of them Super Bowl teams. And we know Tom Brady is either, Patriots or Tampa Bay. Neither one of them are cool, right? Tampa blew us out in the Super Bowl with Gruden and New England with the tuck rule thing and all that. So neither one of those are cool. But these guys were able to become owners, and C. Wood couldn't. I'm like, man, that's blasphemous, man. The kid that we drafted, the Heisman Trophy winner out of Michigan, the mostly defensive player, was he like the first mostly defensive player to win the Heisman? And then we drafted him to the organization when it was back in Oakland, Big Al Davis, and he was out looking to become owner and couldn't get a piece of the Raiders, but Tom Brady and Richard Seymour could. That's what you're telling us, Mark Davis. I think I speak for the entire nation, man, when I say, man, we're disappointed in that. If it could only have been two guys, man, we would have rather see Wood than Richard Seymour, man. And no disrespect to Rich. And I think I'm pretty confidently speaking for the entire nation on that. So I would, I know you don't owe me any type of response or whatever, but I would be real interested to see how that worked out like that, man, and why Woodson wasn't allowed to buy into the team, but these other guys that play for these other franchises were. And, I don't want to spend, get too much on it, but it's still crazy, though, to me, man, Mr. Mark Davis. So let's move on, though. So I don't know if you guys know or not, Jack Bech hasn't signed yet. Nope, hasn't signed yet. It is still, it's only June. OTAs were just wrapping up today. They got Mando mini camp starting next week, midweek. Here's the thing, though. He can get out there on the emergency plan that the NFL has, right? You get injured or whatever, you got like an insurance emergency deal that you can fund that they have that you can tap into and get paid, and then still perhaps sign later. But guys don't really like to do that. But when you're a new guy, you need to be out there learning. So he could practice under that. However, he's not signed. And from what I understand, the reason he's not signed is because of the Houston Texans and the move that they did with their second round pick, Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. the same school that our guy Darian Porter went to. If you guys mess with my channel, you remember I did a video on him pre-draft. He was a guy that I was hoping the Raiders were interested in. They gave him guaranteed money, man, as a second-round pick. So that's where Bech is, man. I'm not like panicking yet, and I don't blame his agent and all that, man. This is a business, bro. They move on without him in a minute, if they had to, or if things didn't work out, or if he did something, out of character or outside the rules or whatever. So all of this is within the rules. You worth whatever you can get somebody to pay you. And second round pick got it already. You can do for one, you can do for all. That's how it is in this negotiations type stuff, man.